Welcome back, everyone. Well, in our business, we call it a twofer, meaning it's a cause, veterans issues, that everybody here at Look Media are all really concerned about. And one of my favorite people to talk about that subject with is the Executive Director of the Saratoga RPC, Cheryl Hage-Perez. Welcome back.
Hello, thank you.
I think we're going to smile through the whole
We
interview,
always
don't you
do.
think?
It's the best game in town.
It is. Now, Saratoga RPC is the fancy title. The title that I love, that Cheryl and I always use with each other, is Vet Help, because boy, does that ever sum it up, right? So tell us a bit about the mission.
The mission is to provide housing and support services to homeless veterans while they're transitioning from military life into civilian life. And for many, due to the experiences that they've had in the military, it's a very, very tough transition.
You know, and I think, guys my age, we of course remember the Vietnam era. And honestly, prior to that, it was almost like, oh, they come back and they just blend right back into society. Vietnam was really the first time that people understood, wait a minute, there's something going on here, post-traumatic stress, all of the associated things that happen to somebody psychologically, physically, mentally, emotionally. And you're so dedicated to not only helping the community understand that this issue exists, but also that there are veterans right in our community that need this support. And we're not just talking one person here.
No, we're not.
No. What do you see?
Last year, when Mayor Yepsen signed on to the challenge to end veterans' homelessness that went across the country, we found 18 homeless veterans in our community.
Right.
And we pulled together all of our resources, and we were able to house them all, but not in the city of Saratoga.
Yes, right.
That was impossible to do because of lack of affordable housing, but also, and because of the high cost of rents in Saratoga. Many of these veterans work in Saratoga or have family in Saratoga. They wanted to live in the city, but we couldn't do that. So we sat down, the mayor's task force and myself, and looked at what are the main reasons why we can't house veterans in the city. And based on that, I said, I'm going to apply for a new grant for housing in Saratoga, specifically for veterans. And the mayor got behind it, gave us a letter of support. The continuum of care got behind it, because the funding comes from HUD through a continuum of care.
Yes.
And we applied last October, and were recently notified, and this is the first announcement I'm making on it, that we were awarded enough money to rent 14 units of housing specifically for homeless veterans.
Wow, congratulations.
We're
on a
thrilled.
couple of fronts. One is your dedication, of course.
Oh, thank
but
you.
the other thing is that, you move a couple of walls with your face when you're trying to get HUD and grants and all this stuff. You know what? I remember you talking about this last fall.
Yes.
And lo and behold, we're all the way now into spring of the next year. I'll give you an indication. Of course, the red tape, it's a bureaucracy and all this other stuff. But you got it. Now, I want to frame this for you. Currently, you have 14 units.
Of apartments.
Of apartments, split between Ballston Spa and Wilton. I think the majority of them are in Wilton,
Yes,
correct?
yes, correct.
But now, with these additional 14, you've doubled,
Yes.
in effect, and also been able to get these units in Saratoga.
In the city of Saratoga.
That's great.
What
Now,
an
just so
impact.
that our viewers know, the thought here is to help veterans transition.
Yes.
To varying degrees, they've got issues, and Vet Help is there to support them in the challenges they face in that transition.
Right.
But the idea is to get them into these housing units, get them safe, help them transition, then make them independent, right? I think
Yes.
that's an important thing to note, don't you?
Our goal for every veteran is that they can live as independently as possible in their community. So we have case management
Yes, right.
that goes in and works with each veteran's family to identify the obstacles that they're facing, to make sure that all the support services they need, whether it be mental health services, health care, addiction services, rehab, job interview skills. You know, a lot of our veterans went from high school to the military.
That's right.
They never interviewed for a job. They never had to write a resume. So we provide all that and help them. Most of our veterans are able to transition out, as they do from our 2 transitional housing programs, the Vet House and the Guardian House. And the housing is considered permanent. So if it takes one veteran 6 months, if it takes another veteran 2 years, that's fine. But we also come across veterans whose disability really prevents them from living independently, and that's okay too.
Right.
So based on the veterans' needs and skills, that's how we assist them with their housing.
You know, another point I want to make about this is that it's male, female, and families. You know, and I think that's an important thing to note. And the housing that's set up in Wilton, in Boston Spa, and now in Saratoga, will be able to accommodate the needs of individuals, male or female, and also the needs of families.
Absolutely.
And I think that's amazing. Now, we got one other thing I want to talk about, because I always want our viewers to know what they can do to help. We got a golf tournament coming up.
We do.
So you teamed up with the brass. You teamed up with the
the
Saratoga
big guys.
Sheriff.
Who can say no to the deputies that protect us?
I try to say no to them every time they pull me over for a speeding ticket. It just doesn't work.
Well, see if you support their golf tournament that they're having. There's a ticket.
Oh, good. Then I'll have to. Don't say ticket in front of me, okay?
Okay,
That's
okay.
We've got a golf tournament coming up on
do.
June 17th.
June 17th.
Good.
And I meant to bring the information, the flyer. I forgot. I do know it's June 17th. It is by the Saratoga County Sheriff's Deputy, PBA.
The PBA, right.
And they're working very hard to make this a successful event. And all the money is going to come to our Vet Help program. They're looking for sponsors. They're looking for donations for a raffle and prizes for the golfers, but they're also looking for foursomes of golfers. So if people can email me at my email address, I can share all that information with them. We'd love to have you come out and support the deputies supporting veterans.
Yeah, that's
which
fantastic.
To me, it's 2 sets of heroes.
Yes.
You know, one helping the other.
And you know, quite honestly, you find out, I don't know exactly what the national statistic is, but a lot of people who leave the military, because of what drives them to want to help people and be a part of the community, they wind up as firefighters, or they wind up in the police departments.
Yes.
You know, it's a natural flow. All right, do you know where the golf tournament is?
It's in Half Moon.
Good, okay, good.
I do know that, the Half Moon Golf Course.
All right, how do the people find out about,
get
more information?
If they email me, I'd be happy to send them.
At vethelp.org?
CHP
Right.
at SaratogaRPC.org.
One more time.
CHP at SaratogaRPC.org.
Great, okay, so that's your mission and my mission.
Yes.
They need donations, they need sponsors, and if you play golf, get out there. And all of the money is going directly in our community, right back to Vet Help.
Absolutely.
To help Cheryl with all of these very progressive and really helpful things that you're doing for vets.
Thank you.
Well, great to see you again, as always. You're always welcome. Come in anytime.
I will come in again when we are planning our first ever fundraiser. We're going to do a Veterans Ball around Veterans Day. So I would love to come in and chat with you about that.
You're always welcome, Cheryl.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
Always great to see you, Jesse.
To see this interview again, you can head to our website, LookTVOnline.com.